Hi, I'm Carlton, an Autowbrake team member. Welcome to the Autowbrake Installation Instruction Series. In this video, we're going to talk about the calibration process and selecting and changing the Autowbrake settings. After you've wired your Autowbrake to your trailer and you've got it mounted, it's time for the calibration process. Now this is really important. Calibration is a one-time process. Once you mount it, it helps our system identify its new home as Autowbrake 0. The reason for this is that if you're going downhill, it's going to provide additional braking force to help you control your braking downhill. So we needed to have a one-time calibration process. It's important that you don't need to do it at all after you've done it once. The only time you may have to do it again is if you decide to relocate or move your Autowbrake from that location, then you'd have to recalibrate it. So if you had it here at a home plate 0 right now for Autowbrake 0 and everything's fine and you never move your Autowbrake on your trailer, one time and one time only. If you decide to say, hey, I want to position it somewhere else, and you move it from that location, you need to recalibrate that. So let's talk about the calibration process. Before that, though, I want to talk a little bit about what we do here in the shop in regards to the process here, because we're going to be using a bench tester to do this in an inside environment where it's more controlled to show you how calibration works. We test and calibrate and recalibrate all of our units that we pot and process here at our shop. So every unit is going through a two-step testing process before it's packaged and sent to you, the new Autowbrake owner. So first what we're going to do is we're going to power it up. You should start to see a series of flashing lights occur, and once those stop, it's time to calibrate. So what you're going to do is you're going to press both of these buttons at the same time. Now if you miss pressing at the same time, that's okay. Just hold them down until you get a solid red light. And once you get that, the calibration process will start and then it will end on its own. Okay? So we're going to try that. And I missed it. It should be flashing here. And then you're going to see a solid red light. Once you see that is when you're going to let go of it. Okay? Now it's going to go through its calibration process. This is its new home based on this test right now. Okay? Once it's done, you are now calibrated. Remember, the calibration process is a one-time process. You don't have to do it any other time than right now. So now we're done with the calibration process. Now we can change the settings. And in doing this, you basically have your buttons you can use. Now this, on the very front of the panel here, we have A and B. B is your gain button. So we're going to use that button to change the settings. So let's take a look at it. When I press and release the buttons, it's going to give us a setting change. So right now, we're in setting 1. Okay, we had 3 flashes there in setting 1. Setting 1 will give you a total of 3 flashes. Setting 2 will give you a total of 6 flashes. And setting 3 will give you a total of 9 flashes. Now, why do we do this? The reason why we do this is in case you miss one of those flash series. So we do it 3 times. Okay, so if you press the button and you see it flash once, and then flash again, and then flash again, it's just confirming that that's setting 1. And that's going to happen in setting 2 and setting 3 for you. So just to clarify, we'll do it 3 times so you can visually see that. During this process, the person that's helping you still has their foot on the brake pedal. Okay? It's really important. Let's change it again. We're going to go to B. We're going to press and release it. And now it's going to setting 2. It gave you flashes 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. One more time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. If you continue to press the button again, it's going to go back to setting 1. All right, so setting 1 is for trailers that weigh up to 3,000 pounds. Setting 2 are for trailers that weigh from 3,000 to 6,000 or 7,000 pounds. And setting 3 are for trailers that are over 6,000 or 7,000 pounds. Okay? Now, button A, you can use that as well too. If you press it, it's just going to go back down. So you have flexibility with that. Okay, so right now we're in setting 2. Everything's good there. This is basically the setting you currently have. If you were to disconnect, shut down the power and disconnect your harness and store your trailer for the winter and come back and plug her back in, it will stay at the last setting that you had, which would be setting 2 in this case. Okay, let's talk about the key fob now as part of the process. I'm going to bring the key fob over. What we've done here with the key fob, we've made some subtle changes. Initially in the past, we didn't have anything identifying markers at all for what was increasing or decreasing the levels, but we do now. You can increase it with the plus sign, or you can decrease your small fine tuning with the minus sign. The middle button does not work in this situation, just the up button and the down denoted as plus or minus. Okay, so in this case, if I wanted to change that, I would basically press the button for a second and release it. That was one time. And then I'm going to press the button and release it again. And that's another setting. We can do this up to 5 times. Okay, so I'm going to go again, and again, and again. Okay, so this is setting 5. Now the question is, how do you know that? Let me show you that. What we're going to do is we're going to take the brake pedals off now. In us having the brake pedals no longer depressed, that is locked in your settings and your fine tuning on your key fob. Here's what I mean. If you press the B button, it's going to tell you that we're in setting 2, and it stays there. Okay? I'm going to press that again. Setting 2. It hasn't changed because we've locked in our settings. Okay? Now, if you want to find out what the key fob setting is, there's really nothing to identify what setting it is here. Here's how you do that. That's when you press the A button. And I press that and release it, and you see 5 flashes there. I press it again, and there's 5 flashes there. Okay? So that's how you utilize changing your settings and fine-tuning levels on your Autowbrake. Now remember, when you have your setting at setting 2, you can go up to 5 fine-tuning settings on that. If I had this on setting 3, I can go up to 5 on this. So in essence, I can go to 1 from 1.0 to 1.5, 2.0 to 2.5, 3.0 to 3.5. Okay? Let's talk about the key fob a little bit here. We've made some changes. We've added some identifiers to help you, the customer, identify what is gained, increased, and what is a decrease on here. So the middle button doesn't function at all, but the buttons on the plus and the minus for changing your fine-tuning levels, that's how they function. So when you're driving, you can actually change and adjust your fine-tuning while you're driving. All you do is you have to press the brake pedal down in a coast mode, so just lightly, so the brake lights turn on, and then you can press the button for a second or two and release it, and that'll actually increase that little fine-tuning gain. If you find that it's a little too stiff or it's causing a little bit of vibration, you can just, again, press the brake pedal down to get that condition to work, and then you press the low one, which is the minus, and that'll take care of it. So it's pretty simple. It gives you the ability to make some subtle changes while you're driving or while you're parked. If you have any further questions about the Autowbrake trailer-mounted brake controller, please take a look at our website at www.getautobrake.com or look us up on Facebook. Or, more importantly, just give us a call. We'll be happy to help you.